So here's the first storage area coming off the compressor, just behind the wall of the mine. Alright, so the air comes in from the compressor, fills up this storage tank, then goes through this hose up to this pressure gauge, and then goes over to this little splitter that I have set up. Now I have a lot less props this year running off of air than I did last year, so you'll notice I only have 3 lines. The first one there, the large one, goes all the way back behind the saloon, and that's the one that powers the town drunk prop, and then the train depot stamper guy, and the barbershop dude. There's also a storage tank over there. And then these other 2 smaller 1/4-inch lines go down the driveway past the mining area, and that's what gives us air to our hangman and snake prop. So once the air supply passed the mine, it would then travel back behind the saloon, and then it splits off right at this point behind the mission. One continues to go all the way around to the train depot, and then one, along with some electrical cords, are just below the ground surface, going all the way to here, to this jail, and that's what feeds this little farting guy in here. The other one travels back behind the fountain, underneath into the barbershop, and then goes into our little storage travel trunk right there, which is where our air cannon is this year, and then it splits off and feeds the 2 pneumatic props in these 2 rooms. Looking at this trunk, you can see that I drilled a small 1/2-inch hole, and that's where the hose pokes out, and it was awesome. No one saw it in the dark. It blows pretty hard. It's about shin level for people that pass by here. Let me see here. It was awesome too because the air cannon fit in this thing perfectly. I have the trunk screwed down to this decking right here, but you can see this thing fits just perfect right inside there. And because the lid kind of has like basically a round top, this valve and everything just fit in there nice. I didn't have to do anything. But the air comes in, and then you can see where the air is just... I mounted the hose with a little strain relief so it wouldn't move on me. And it comes in through a hole that I drilled in the back. You can see where it comes in, and then also goes through the wall there. And then I've got it covered. You can't see it. There's some air lines down in there, but they travel all the way around the chair to where the valves are that power the pneumatic props. Now, how this guy, those two in there were motion sensor. This guy right here, we ran off of a remote control. The air cannon itself was run off of one of these remotes, and we got it with like a little 4-pack of outlets. We have the one for this just right in between the 2 buildings of the barbershop and the train depot. And basically anytime someone would walk by, we would just, and we happened to notice, we would just hit on and off. So that is that. So Gina had this awesome idea about a little startling prop that we could do. Mm-hmm. Live snakes.
The live snakes. Cashin'.
Anyway, Gina's idea was to have these little snakes hanging from these hooks, which we removed because we're striking this right now. And we had a little motion sensor right there. So when the lid opened up, that was a test when we were doing the branding iron. But they would dangle, and then that motion sensor would notice the lid opening. And then what we have under here is a little bit of water.
We're taking on water.
Is we had our rattling crypt prop, and these plates would just rattle around in there with the chisel. First we tried our ankle tickler, and we just didn't like it because you could see the hoses and tubes, and we were afraid people would
step
catch
on.
Yeah, and so we ended up doing the rattling crypt. So.
And it scared people because you would open the lid, and then about 2 seconds later it started to go grrr, so then people started to get comfortable when they opened the lid, like, oh, just rubber snakes. Ah!
Rubber snakes.
Rubber snakes.
But yeah, it's pretty ghetto, but it worked for having an extra little prop for him to play with.
Yes, it did.
Let's take it apart.
My nose itches.
Would you like to